Hello everyone, welcome to today's unboxing video looking at this, which is of course the remarkable, unmistakable form of the famous Supermarine Spitfire with the equally as famous and unmistakable brand logo at the top there. Yes, it is everybody's favourite quality randomizer, Kovozávody Prostějov. There are of course countless kits of Spitfires, all marks, all colours, all oddities. Pretty much everything has been done in pretty much every scale. So why would a company want to do a new Spitfire? Well, it is simple. KP aren't going to be making money out of Airfix selling Spitfires, are they? No, they should fill their own range with everything that they think they are likely to sell. And so it is for people like myself who love a good Spitfire and don't mind buying kits that may or may not turn out to be utter rubbish to discern what is good, what is worth your money, and what is about as good for the bin as it can be. So here we're going to look inside the box and I'm going to see if I'm going to get very excited at the prospect of building this pink Spitfire or if I'm going to be regretting life choices. This box style should be familiar to anyone who's made a KP or AZ or Admiral or whatever kit. We have artwork by Carlos Alonso. I recently featured some of his artwork in a book that KP have released with the, Messerschmitt 109 and the Kitty Hawk. So it's a name I know well, and in my opinion, the artwork is always one of the better parts of a KP kit. KP logo at the top left and new tool model at the top right. Would be helpful if it said what year this was a new tool. You would like to think that if the artwork is 2020 then maybe the kit is around then as well. I have noticed new KP kits do say 2020 tool as opposed to new tool, for example, but not the case here. This is the Fighter Reconnaissance Mark 9C 1/72 scale. I really like the Mark 9, it's a guilty pleasure. I don't think I will ever get tired of building Mark 9 Spitfires. They have the best balance, in my eyes anyway, of long sexy nose, long sexy tail, lovely sexy wing. Basically they're a very sexy plane. And this one is pink. Down here it says assembly plastic kit. Brilliant. On the red edge it tells us that none of this product was funded by the EU. Interesting. Barcode, whatever. Skill level 2. There are very few skill level 1s that I've seen in a KP box, so I wonder what they think a skill level 1 looks like. And just some stuff in English, fine. The other long edge is yellow, gives us a product code of 176, an address, and this very lovely Belgian Spitfire, which is clearly one of the other schemes. Oh, I do like a good Belgian plane, as you should know. Red shop edge is that, it's red. And the yellow shop edge is the same, but yellow. And on the back we have the colour callout, which gives us 3 schemes, pink, pink, not pink. I actually really like the Belgian one. Don't know if I've made that clear, but the point of this is to build one of the pink ones. They look to me from here to be more or less the same, except one has a white V and one has a red X. That's pretty much the only distinguishing feature that I can see. Paint colour numbers are given in Humbrol and Agama. I don't know. Anyone know what they are? Anyone that's not from the UK know what they are? Because I've never heard of them. Anyway, it tells us the pale pink is mixed, 34 and 60. Don't worry, I won't be mixing colours for this. I've got a paint in mind. Tantalising though it is to stare at the box, I really want to see what's inside. Another unboxing, and it's another kit entirely sealed within a plastic bag. Before we look at what is before you, we are looking at the instructions. Now this is just KP all over, isn't it? We have a single sheet of paper that has been folded. We have a little line drawing at the top so that you can colour it in. Doesn't have to be pink, doesn't have to be silver, could be whatever colour you want, or you could just throw it in recycling when you're done. Up to you. We have a little bit of history about this particular mark of Spitfire, which is, according to the instructions, the Mark 9C and 9E, so both will be available to build from this tooling, and some technical data as well. Interesting to see that on this side we have the realization team. It's essentially credits, like it's a film or something. Well, no problem with that. Good on you. All you guys, you've probably done a good job. We'll find out soon. Down here we have a very small warning which is slightly folded. Read carefully the instruction leaflet before assembly. Okay, I won't be doing any more of that. You get the idea. Very small, not very easy to see, so don't mess up. A sprue map top left, which we can cross-reference all the parts we've got to make sure that they are definitely there. And then instructions as per pretty much every KP kit you're going to come across. It does suggest that there is no decal for the instrument panel, which is, well, it's interesting. It's just a thing to observe, isn't it? We have colours, annoyingly, are not here. In fact, they're not anywhere. I keep turning it over. There are no colours. It doesn't tell you what they are. And I've checked the back of the box. It doesn't tell you any colours there either. So it gives you colours A, B, C and E on the interior, but it doesn't tell you what A, B, C and E are. Well, that's helpful, isn't it? Oh dear. Now thankfully it's a Spitfire. It's not that big an issue, but it does seem like a bit of an oversight to list everything in colours and then not tell you what the letters translate to in terms of colour. That's just me triple and quadruple checking to make sure that I am correct. Right, anyway, standard stuff. It's a Spitfire. You assemble the interior like that, you glue it in there, fuselage halves go together, which suggests no capacity for a turning propeller. Wings, they go together there. We have slight variations for the Mark C and E, so it tells us this is the Mark C, the Mark 9C, the Mark 9E, and again parts 14 and 16 follow those same lines. Interesting that 14 has some variation. 16, oh no, I say it's not the no, I get it, it's this, and this. It's just these parts are potentially drilled out for the Mark 9E. Right, could be clearer, but hey, I am just glancing through it, having never read them before. Propeller assembly then gets glued in. Yes, I was correct earlier, there's no capacity showing here for the prop to turn. Variety of tails, doesn't tell you which one goes where, so I guess you have to cross-reference other sources or the box. And apparently the Mark 9C has its wheels down, and the Mark 9E has its wheels up. That's the difference. There we go. No, obviously there are other differences. It's just amusing the way that this has been formatted. And then stencils. We have a very small stencil diagram here showing the differences between the 9C and the 9E, which leads us nicely onto one of the two decal sheets included, the stencils. Tells us down there, Supermarine Spitfire stencils. Okay, that's not the best I've seen, not the worst I've seen. Through the naked eye, I cannot really make out much of this text, beyond seeing that it is text. It is very small, it looks nicely printed, but just the fidelity isn't quite there. So when I say it looks nicely printed, it's not that they've printed it badly, it's that they just haven't got the resolution needed. Everything seems in line, basically. Everything seems to be correct. The other decal sheet is for this specific kit. It says PR. It says PR9C down there. So photo reconnaissance rather than fighter reconnaissance. I don't know which is correct. Does it say on the back of the box? No, it says all of them are FR9s. It's only a small difference, I know. Basically, the fighter reconnaissance had guns as well as cameras. Now, KP decals vary. They will either be absolutely fine, but then disintegrate, or they'll be incredibly pixelated, but not disintegrate. Unless you're really unlucky, in which case they disintegrate anyway. These look fine. The registration looks okay. The Belgian roundels there have more colours than any other decal on there, so they look all right. Obviously, we will have to wait and see what it actually looks like when we put them on. And I've also confirmed that there is no instrument panel decal, so any instrument panel detail will have to be painted. We have a single clear part in a single clear bag. It is a resealable bag, which means I can have a look at it and put it back without fear of scratching it. And here it is. It is, of course, the canopy, or canopy, as I like to call it. One piece, so no functionality for it to be open. Not that that's going to be an issue for me. I can just build it closed, but generally speaking, it's better to see a kit that has more options rather than only one. Clarity is fine. If anything, it's a bit foggy, but it is quite a complicated curved shape. Yeah, it looks okay. Nothing particularly special though. Let's move on to the plastic itself. We're going to go for this sprue. Now you may have noticed as it's been sitting back there how incredibly shiny this is. It doesn't feel like it's grease. It's just a very smooth plastic. Very, very smooth. So smooth you could skate across it if you were small enough and able to skate on plastic. Anyway, it does, however, first impressions, look nice. I do note that there are no locating pins anywhere on here, on the top wings or on the fuselage. Not necessarily an issue, but it does kind of rule out beginners. If I can get the angle right, you can see the detail on the top surface of the wing. All the rivets and panels. Looks excellent, actually. I can't see any flash yet. Fuselage half here. Again, absolute perfection with the detail. Loads of rivets. Now, I've made a fair few Spitfires from a fair few manufacturers, and just on surface detail, this is looking like it will be one of the better ones. But of course, the proof will be in the building, won't it? We also have instrument panel and bulkhead. There's the instrument panel. So even though there's no decal provided, you have a lot of raised detail that you can pick out with some dry brushing. Excellent. Bulkhead, as I said, for behind the pilot, as is this bit here. That's sort of where the headrest is. We have the feeds kind of in the way, so you can either feed into it on that edge, on the front edge, or you can do it like they've done here. Just different styles. Some prefer it like this. I personally don't, but they're both valid. We've got wheels. They are not weighted, by which I mean there's no bulge. The bulge would represent the weight of the plane pressing down. Generally speaking, they look more realistic when they have a bulge. This is not overly. The tiniest bit of flash, and then we have some of the wingtips. Because this is a Spitfire that is meant, or a tooling of a Spitfire that is meant to cover multiple variants, it is moulded in a fairly common tactic of having the clipped wings as standard, and then you slice them off and put your wingtips of choice on if you need to. This one clearly only has one set of wingtips because there's nothing on here, but sometimes you have the pointy high altitude wingtips as well. Right, second sprue. Wheel well detail, that's what I was going to check, and the inside. Didn't even look at that. There you go, that's the sidewall detail. That is also excellent, and the wheel well, pretty much nothing, but that's standard for a Spitfire anyway. Look. Oh, ooh, yes, 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 many yes. Ooh, one part is a little bit wobbly. On this sprue we have the lower wing surfaces, also incredibly shiny. The ejection ports for the guns, which I don't think this version will have. It didn't have all of those guns, did it? Or maybe it did. I don't know. I didn't check. I'll have to read the book before I build it. Let you know in the build video how accurate it is. There's the rudder. Oxygen tanks for the interior. Also beautifully moulded. Reflector gun sight, which is not a clear part, so it's not going to look 100% accurate. But never mind. We have the undercarriage components. Look, on the camera they look broken, but I can't actually see a break on the real thing. That is interesting. Huh. Well, we'll have to see. The very small parts anyway. And again, just everything is moulded really well. We do have multiple tail pieces. So double rudder, which was mentioned in the instructions. One's got a antenna wire mount on it and the other one hasn't. I don't know if there's any other differences. That's just the first one I notice. And we have the horizontal stabilizers are different as well. We have a little panel in this one That isn't in this one. This one has a little ridge for the control cable that side. Oh no, that's on there as well. Okay, yeah, this one just has panels in there. That's it. We do have a seat for le pilote, but we do have no pilot figure. Oh, and there's the control column, the flight stick, the go button with the boom boom trigger. This is the entry on ScaleMates. You can clearly see it is the same one because it has the same artwork and product code. So it's the little things that give it away. As we scroll down, we see that it's a 2020 new box, which matches the date on the artwork. There was no other date that I could see on the kit. Certainly not on the instructions. Let me see again. I'm just checking the box. No, I've double checked and there's no other date on the box anywhere. As we scroll down, we can see the markings included, which match, except they're the other way around. It's got Belgium first and then RAF second. I don't know why, it just does. And the product timeline leads us to believe that this is not a new tool in 2020, but in fact goes all the way back to 2012. So not that old. And actually, having looked in the box, I wouldn't have expected it to be quite this old. Okay, it's only, what, 13 years, but that's still older than I would perhaps expect given the fidelity of the detail. This is definitely a newer kit. Also, oh, I should have mentioned, it says AZ model because AZ and KP are one and the same. And so yes, you will have seen this released by AZ before. It's not even the first time that KP have released it, so I don't really know why the new tool note is on the box, unless they're trying to distinguish it from KP of old. Hard to tell. Anyway, we've had loads of versions of this released by AZ, most of them at the same sort of time. You notice here 2012, 2013. That is because they like to release a load of variations of the same tool in one go, basically. So they'll release a Spitfire in 2012, they'll make a change, and then they'll release it loads of times in 2013, then they'll make a change, etc, etc. In terms of how much this cost, I have no idea. I can't remember where I bought it from. It's probably between 15 and 20 quid because looking at them currently, both by KP and AZ, that is roughly what they cost. Although, interestingly, it isn't currently available. Look at that. Ooh, that's a nice Spitfire, isn't it? Maybe I should buy another Spitfire. Anyway, there we go. That's a little look inside another Spitfire for my collection. This will be the first pink Spitfire that isn't the silly old Airfix one that I painted in an incredibly bright pink just for funsies. This will be the actual first, what I like to call classy pink Spitfire. If you have made this kit, what should I be aware of? Let me know down below. Although there is a reasonable chance that by the time I read the comments, I will have already made the kit and found out the hard way. But that is just the nature of content creation. If you have liked the video, hit the like button. If you disliked it, well, I'm amazed you got it this far. Well done. Treat yourself to a dislike. And if you haven't yet subscribed, but you keep on watching my videos, then please just hit the subscribe button because it helps me out. And surely that's all the gratitude you need in life, right? Extra brownie points go to my channel members. You can join them by clicking a link down below. They probably already know if I have built the kit before releasing this video because I do like to share pictures on my socials with channel members first. So if you're interested in joining them, then please do. If not, just watching the video is definitely good enough for me, and I thank you for making it this far. So without any further rambling, I have a Spitfire to build, so thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.